What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Episode 16 today. And guys, the last video was a very bad ending to the video, man. We had a very rough game against the Broncos, and I just wanted us to get past the bye. I really did. We had the Packers in week 9, and I was like, look, we can't even beat the lowly 1-5 Broncos. This season is not going to go very well. And I honestly had a minor thought of simming through most of the season again. But as you guys know, I watch a lot of these games even if I don't record them because I want to see how the team is performing. And one of the games that I watched, the first one I watched, was the Packers. And let me tell you guys, we pulled off something I did not think we were going to pull off. We ended up, and I'm so mad that I didn't record this game. Like, seriously, I am so mad that I did not record this game because it would have been a great video. But I had no clue that we were going to win. You know, I thought we were going to lose. I thought we were going to get our butts whooped because they beat us horribly just 2-3 weeks prior in Minnesota. So I'm like, man, we're going to Lambeau. There is no way this is going to go well. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch it because I want to see how the team performs. I want to see what Hopkins does. You know, I want to keep up with things, and I want to know how our playbooks are performing. And here we go. We end up winning the game. And it looked as if we were about to lose. It did for a minute, but then we ended up getting, I think it was like a last-second interception. And we sealed the game 25-20 when they were driving. And here's the stats from that game. So Taylor Hopkins did not have the greatest performance, but he got the plays done that we needed, and he only took 3 sacks. It was like a great game from him. Usually we're at like the 6 to 7 sack range. He only took 3. We ended up getting 6 on Jordan Love. And as you can see, he had a rough day as well. Aaron Jones almost killed us again. 12 carries, 77 yards. Luckily, though, it was sort of more of a shootout, and the Packers seemed to get away from it early on and just never went back to it, which really, really helped us because Aaron Jones, as you can see, was killing us, and it's probably the reason that we won this game. I don't know why they stopped running the ball, but they did. Alexander Mattison ended up 20 carries for 73 yards, not the greatest average, but that Packers front is very, very tough. We found that out the last time we played these guys. Antonio Nelson tried, he failed. Glover tried, had some success, but it was minor. Our receivers are really what came out to play. Adam Thielen, 8 catches, 113 yards. Justin Jefferson, 3 for 92 and a touchdown. Even Osborne, 6 for 48. He had a lot of key catches, right? He wasn't making the huge flashy plays, but there was some third downs, man, that I didn't think we were going to get, and he made some great catches in traffic. N'Keal Harry almost killed, well, he sort of did kill us again. Not as bad as the last time, but 6 for 94. That man is good. This is going to be something we have to keep an eye on for, the future. This is going to be a really good matchup for us every year. As you can see here, Danielle Hunter, Michael Pierce, and even Cam Dantzler got in on the action with sacks, and then also the last one here from Tomlinson and Jefferson as him and Pierce teamed up for a sack. And then after that, I just simmed the Bengals game. I didn't watch that one. I watched the Panthers. We lost that one. That one wasn't too bad of a game, but again, not the greatest performance. So overall, it wasn't a horrible game, but it was another loss. And at that point, I was like, man, this is really going to be rough. So I ended up watching the Packer game just because it was such a big game. And then I simmed the Bengals game, and we ended up winning both of those games. So after we got to the bye week, I stopped, and here we are in week 12, and we're about to take on the Bucs, and we're 5-5. And I'm looking here, the Bears and the Packers, they're only 2 games in front of us, right? We know that we are 1-1 with the Packers. We lost to the Bears, but we still have one more game against them yet, and we're 2 games out. So this game we are going to watch. It's a huge matchup. Even though they're 3-7, I feel like the game is going to see that they're an 85 and we're just going to get beat. But this will be a very, very good matchup for us to see, especially if we want to start looking at the playoffs and seeing, these kind of teams that are going to be a lot better than us to see how we stack up against them. But before we do that, let's take a look at these re-signings and see if there's anybody else that we want to go ahead and offer a contract to. I made a statement in the last video, or maybe the video before that, about our plan for fullback. And Ken Walden right now is our plan for the fullback position going forward. As much as I love CJ Ham, he really is one of my favorite Vikings. You have to be willing to let go of guys who aren't going to be everything you think they are anymore. And CJ Ham is going to be that. But right now he's a 75, and he'll be a 73 after this season, but I know he's going to regress. It's just the nature of the business, and it's definitely the nature of Madden. He's up for a contract this year. I don't want to give him almost $3 million. I will definitely give Ken Walden $7 million though, because he's only 22. So we're going to go ahead and offer him a contract right away. And as you can see, Ken Walden is willing to stay, and we have him here for another 3 years. I was going to hold off on Randy Barrett, but seeing his stats and his overall and his age, I just don't think it would be wise for me to not offer him another deal to see what we can get out of him for the next year. And he only wants a 1 year for almost $3 million. I think that's okay. We've seen before that our defensive ends can, be injury prone from time to time, and having a guy like him in the backup and in the rotation is going to be especially helpful. So we're going to go ahead and offer him that contract as well, see if he'll take it. As you can see, he takes the offer. We have him for another season, and now we have a great rotational guy that we can try to build around along with Martin Jefferson. Kenny Young is a guy that I added, I think it was just a few weeks ago after an injury. I just wanted to bring in another linebacker to make sure we had enough guys, and I wanted to bring in more of a veteran guy because we have a lot of young guys right now. We have really old Kenny Young, and then everybody else who's like a 2-year pro or 1-year pro. So Kenny Young, I do feel is worthy of another contract, but I do want to wait till the end of the season to see where the rest of our younger linebackers are before making that decision. Mason Cole, I think, is going to be coming back. I'm going to offer him one right now. He's a good depth player. Centers are such a toss-up, you never know if you're going to get a good one in the draft or if you're going to get a dud. There's barely ever any available in free agency, so if we have a guy that we're okay with having, in my opinion, let's just re-sign him. Mason Cole also accepts, so another 1-year deal out to Mason Cole for one of our depth players. Artie Burns is somebody that I don't think I'm going to re-sign. At least I don't know yet. So I'm not going to offer him a contract right now. We'll see. Maybe he plays his heart out in the last, half of the season here, and I decide I want to, but for now I do not want to. KJ Osborne. I really wish this guy was a little bit younger and a little bit better sooner, because he is such a good third option for us. So I'm going to offer him this contract. I just don't know how much more better he's going to be getting because he is already 26. He's got about 2 more years to improve before he's going to start regressing or at least hitting that plateau in Madden. But he's too good to not offer a contract to. And there's nobody else that I'd rather have right now on this roster. If we have, these receivers that are sort of in between starting caliber and backup caliber, Osborne is a guy I want. And we get KJ Osborne. I ended up upping his contract to almost $17 million for 3 years. I just feel like 3 years, $11 million was a really low number, and I don't know why that keeps happening, but I don't want it to keep being a thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give him a little bit extra money because I think that's what would be an actual realistic number, at least, or at least more realistic than what he was asking for. We still have a few guys to look at here before the end of the season. I think for the most part, until I see regression on a few of these guys, we're just going to hang tight. Oh, man, I really want to sign Pierce. But that's such a lot of money. I know that we can't comfortably keep all of these guys. Barr, Kendricks, Pierce. I know we can't. It's just not going to happen. So right now, we do one for him. That's down to 26. We were at 39. So that's, what, 13 million? And then we do this one for 11. That's dropping us down another 12. So now, in the grand scheme of things, we'd be down to like, what, 15? And then you add Barr to that, and it's another 6 or 7. Now we're down to less than 10 million in cap space. And I don't want us to be, I just can't have us being that cap strapped, it's just not a good look. So I don't know, man. We might have to end up letting go all 3 of them. Barr, Kendricks, and Pierce. If there's anybody that's going to make it back to be on, like, for sure, I think it's going to be Pierce because of how valuable I think D tackles are in this game. I know we have sort of looked at the prospects, but we have really not done much, deep diving on these guys yet. And I really want to start doing so because it's getting towards the end of the season. We're in week 12. We have 6 weeks left. And who knows if we're playing the playoffs or not. But either way, we only have a select few games we're going to be seeing yet. And then we'll be in another off season. I still would like to get Kentrell Lucas, but I don't think we're going to be able to, because now that we've won the last 2 and we have a chance to really push for the playoffs, I feel like even if we don't make the playoffs, we're going to end up somewhere in the mid-teens for a pick. Kentrell Lucas, even though he had that story where he was dropping down the draft boards because of an attitude problem or kicked off the team or something like that, he's still considered a top 5 talent, so somebody is going to end up taking him, and I don't think we're going to be able to land him. But I mean, just looking at his stats, great elite, good great, good great, great elite, great elite. The only thing is his jumping is solid good, but at 6 foot, we're not expecting him to jump up with everybody. You know, this is more of a guy we're expecting to be a route runner, to be able to take advantage of mismatches. And you can see here that he actually has some running ability. You know, B spin move, B stiff arm. I don't know what the other ones are, but it just, to me, it seems like this is a guy that can catch the ball and do things with the ball after the fact. And I would definitely love to have another guy like that on the team, especially now that Adam Thielen is getting up there in age. I don't know how much longer we have with Thielen. Looking at some of these other receivers, there are still a lot of solid options for us. Curtis Lynch is one. He might be there towards the end of the first round. I would love a guy like Gerald Monty, but with him being round 1, I feel like he might end up being taken before we even get on the board. Curtis Lynch here does have great to elite speed, which is helpful. But then his acceleration is solid to good, and I don't know what that means. Does that mean he's going to have 93 or 94 speed and end up having 86 acceleration? It's hard to tell sometimes because of how much these things fluctuate and how sometimes it seems like even the decent to solid guys still end up having a good grade, but then other times good to great guys have bad grades. So it's such a weird thing that I'm still trying to get used to. You know, he's got the short awareness and he's got the awareness and he can even provide kick return, but look at his deep route as a D. I don't know. I mean, if we can unlock some more stuff about him to see if maybe that's just one of the areas that he lacks, that's fine. That happens. But if we end up getting his catching unlocks and it's like a C or a D and something like that, I just don't know if he'll be good enough to be taken in the first round for us. A couple more guys that I was looking at here. Austin Banks, he's 6'5", 221. He also has great to elite speed for a 6'5" guy. 6'5" or 6'4"? 6'5". But the other problem is he is already 23. So he's going to be a year or two older than some of these other guys. And the only thing we really know about him is that he can't return kicks. He has a decent stiff arm and he's got a decent short route. We know nothing else about him. So I don't know if the right attributes are going to be unlocked for me to take a chance on him. Zay Black is another guy that I would potentially think about taking. He's not the typical guy I usually go after, especially in a top part of the draft because he's only 5'10". But you can see here his ratings are really good. He also has some running ability. He's got A, ball carrier vision, which is something I like. So this could be a potential slot guy to replace KJ Osborne at some point. He also has good awareness and good deep routes, so I'm assuming this guy's going to end up being a deep threat. Tyler Beacham is another guy similar to Zay Black. He himself, and even with the physicals here, his physicals are pretty on par. Great elite with a few of the key categories we're looking for in a smaller wide receiver. But I'm not 100% sure about the rest of it. You can see his catch and traffic is a C, his medium route is a D, but his ball carrier vision is an A and his awareness is a B. So it's a toss-up yet, but those two guys are guys we could potentially look at. I'm a little hesitant about taking these guys just because they are only 5'10". I like Deontay Whiting. He's played well for us, but I really don't want to start having an influx of guys who are less than 6 foot tall. The next guy on the list that we have a little bit more completion on is Timmy Peoples out of Florida, who is 6'1". He's a little light, but he's 6'1". He's got a good height to him. Almost everything is great to elite except strength and jumping, but the jumping at least is good to great. Again, he's not 6'4". We don't need him to win these crazy jump balls. That's something that we will need a big body guy for, or Justin Jefferson, because he's a beast. The only problem is we know his catching is a B, his medium route is a D, but he has break tackle as a B. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I really hope we can unlock some more from this guy, but he is also somebody that I'm keeping an eye on here for wide receivers. And of course, we could get him much later, 2 to 3, so we might not have to take him in the first. I've also been taking a look at the left tackles because, well, like I said, last video, was it last video or the video before? I just know I've been talking about Darisaw, and that Darisaw has been wishy-washy for us. He's really the last spot on our line that's been something that we really can't rely on quite yet, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get him up enough to be able to get him to that next level. So Blaine Molinero here, he is a 1 to 2 round prospect. So I just don't know if I want to spend a first rounder on a left tackle, especially considering some of these other players that I know are going to be available. He does have good impact block, and he's got pretty good pass block finesse, which is, fits our scheme. But then his run block finesse is a C, which I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm being, overly dramatic about it. I just want guys who are more balanced on the line. And I feel like Madden doesn't do it anymore. Wayne Hollenbach is the next left tackle, but I just don't like his ratings. Yeah, he's got A injury, but everything else is a C or worse that we know of. Run block finesse, pass block power, and awareness. Craig Whitley is a guy that I really, really, really want to get to know more. He's got A awareness, B lead block, which for a tackle, we really don't need lead block. Pass block finesse is an A, stamina is an A. I want to get some more of these uncovered, but he's also really young at 21, 6'6", 306. He's the first tackle that I've seen that have had A's and B's really across the board. So I'm really curious to see if we can learn more about him. Plus, with him being a third and fourth round projection, he might be a guy we can get in the second or third round, and we don't have to spend a first rounder on him. And the last person I looked at here was Calvin Branch. But he's already 23, and his run block finesse and run block is an F, so he was already disqualified for my consideration. I don't want to go into day 3 with tackles. I just usually, especially for left tackles, you can usually find some in the guards or the centers for day 3, but once you get to past like the top 3 or 4 guys, there's not much really available for left tackles, usually from what I've seen. The top left guard is Justin Smith. And I do like some of his attributes here. A, impact, B, run block, B, pass block power, but then he's got a C for stamina. I don't know if that's something to worry about or not. He does have really good physical skills, as you can see. Almost everything is great to elite. The only thing that's not is speed, and I don't really need him to have great speed. And he's also 21. There's not a lot of left guards at all, and Montel Malone ended up falling. It looks like he's falling a little bit. But these are all day 3 guys, and then I'm not really looking for a day 3 guy. I feel like those are going to be more of the projects, and I really want, if we're going to go after somebody that I feel that could potentially start right away for us. So this Michael Mahone guy is a center, right? He's only 6'1", right? Yeah, 6'1", 312 pounds. He's from Wisconsin, so that was initially got my head turning a little bit because, well, I love me some Wisconsin players. You can see 3/4 of his key ratings are unlocked and everything is a B or above. His physical skills are also literally all great to elite. Every single one of them. The only downside is his lead block being a C, but if he's a center, again, sort of like left tackle, usually if we're doing lead blocking, it's the guards pulling. So him being at center, unless it's really a screen, I'm not too concerned about him having elite lead blocking, and that's always something we can work on. But he has A, run blocking, and B, run block power. So we know he can run block, and we know he can pass block with a B. So this is a guy that I'm really high on as well for the interior of the line. Obviously at 6'1", he can't play tackle. He probably can't even play guard, so he would only be a center. But I mean, Bradbury has been getting up there. I've already, sort of considered getting rid of him in the past. We ended up not. We kept him, but he's, I think, 28 now, 29. So another 2 to 3 round projection that we could potentially look at taking in the second round. Chase Stewart was another one that did look promising. You can see the pass block here as an A, B awareness, but then I saw the injury as a D, and I'm not risking it with injuries. Especially now they have the new fatigue system. If I see an injury that's way too low, I'm not comfortable with it, I'm not taking him. So Chase Stewart was already taken off my board at that point. Eric Cook is considered to be a top 5 pick this year. So this is obviously somebody that I would like to be able to get, but I highly doubt we're going to be able to land him because even if we somehow get top 5, I'm not spending it on a guard. I'm probably going to take Kentrell Lucas if he's available. He does have really good size and he's young, but you can see here that a lot of his stats are actually in the C's, which really confuses me because I've seen other guys who are, 2-3 rounders that are having A's and B's in these categories, and here the top 5 guy has C's. So I don't know if that's like a trick playing on me, like if they're going just off of right guards for these grades and maybe all the other right guards have, you know, maybe one or two statistics better. I'm just really caught off guard that this guy's a top 5 prospect, but yet has, you know, average to below average grades. The only one he's got decent is run blocking, but we have a lot of his stuff unlocked. Pass block power, impact block, pass block, and all of them are a C? I don't know. It's a little weird to me, especially for top 5. You'd expect to see a bunch of A's and B's there for a guy that, you know, could be one of the first players taken, period. I didn't really look at the right tackles at all. I don't know. I just didn't take too much of a look at them. I'll probably look at them a little bit later, but right now I did not really look at them at all. I did not look much at the defensive ends because we have, you know, Danielle Hunter and Martin Jefferson. There were a few guys that I looked at here that I consider to be defensive tackles for a 4-3, and that is Markel Ware and Travon Clifford. So Ware is 306, Clifford is 307. I would really just slide these guys inside. And Markel Ware is a guy that I actually did when we had the extra training, the focus training. There we go, focus scouting. I don't know why I couldn't think of that, but when I did the focus training, I picked him as one of the guys, and so you can see we got the extra, you know, percentage unlocked for him. And he looks like a pretty solid prospect. I don't know. I still, again, with being around 1 to 2, there's so many options that I just want to make sure that I have a lot of options once we get to our pick, depending on where we pick. But if we end up in the right spot, this guy could be a really good selection for us. B hit power, A impact, B power move, A pursuit, A stamina, B injury. So we know he's at least going to have a decent injury rating. His physical tools are pretty decent. Jumping isn't the best, but everything else is in line with what a D tackle should have. Like, you think about it, if he's good to great and solid to good in most of these statistics at D end, he's going to be probably good to great, great to elite at D tackle with these stats. So sort of somebody that can add that pass rush ability in the middle is something that I'm really looking for. And Travon Clifford is another guy that sort of meets that mold as well. You can see here a lot of his stats are great to elite, good to great, which at the end is one thing, but at D tackle he's probably jumping up the ranks because D tackles are generally not as athletic as D ends these days. The only thing is he's got D injury. Everything else looks pretty good to me, but his injury being a D has me really weary of drafting him. For instance, I don't know if I even told you guys this, but you remember that whole Perry Brock or Antoine Glover debate that I was having during the draft? Perry Brock's already hurt. He was hurt for like 2 or 3 weeks for the Bengals earlier in the season. I forgot to mention that, but again, that's why I made that decision with Glover, because I didn't want to deal with Brock and the potential of being injured. And sure enough, he got injured. Jaleel Mccoy here. Jaleel Mccoy is another end that I looked at. He's a right end, but he's 312 pounds. He's 21 years old. He could be another potential pick for us to take and move into the inside here to replace a guy like Michael Pierce or Dalvin Tomlinson. He doesn't have the best finesse moves, but I really don't need him to have that. You know, this is where I would want a guy with power moves, and he's got A injury, A tackle, and A recognition, which is something I haven't seen but from many defensive ends or defensive linemen in general, is A recognition right out of the gate. So he's another guy. That and then Ware and Clifford are going to be guys that we keep an eye on as potential D ends for our system, or D tackles for our system. Sorry. Obviously, if you're going to look at D ends for D tackles, you also have to look at D tackles, and I have been sort of doing that. I have a couple of guys here up top that we've have some extra completion percentage on, Giles and Peel, and Giles looks like the real deal here. B's across the board for 3 of his 4 key ratings. He's 21 years old. His physical tools, again, off the charts for D tackle. So I don't know if that means he'd be less physically gifted than the D ends, or if they're sort of using the same scale. In my opinion, I feel like the other D ends might be a better option because they are D ends and they're expected to be faster and quicker. The only issue with him is he's got F stamina. So I don't know. I'm not trying to overplay the stamina thing, but it's just such a new system this year with the progressive fatigue that it has me worried about some of these guys. Cam Peel is another guy that looks really, really good. We ended up getting a break on his key ratings. All of them are unlocked and all of them are a B. He also has some pretty good physical skills. His strength is great to elite speed, change of direction. Everything else solid, good, great. another physical specimen at D tackle. And I don't see anything here that's telling me not to take this guy. Plus, he's got the play recognition as an A, which we didn't see in the last one. So he's got 5 unlocked attributes that are exactly what we needed to see. The only thing I don't see yet is his impact blocking and his awareness, of course, that I really want to see. But, I mean, everything else on this attribute screen is telling me that this guy is good. I could really go through probably, 8 or 9, 10 of these guys because there are so many D tackles in this draft. If we end up really narrowing it down that we are going to go D tackle early and often, I will go through more of these. But for now, I just wanted to show off a couple of top guys that I was considering for our first round picks. Looking at these linebackers, they're literally all defensive ends. Like all of them. And that's why you see me take a lot of middle linebackers, because these are the only guys that I know that Madden isn't going to make into D ends. It seems like Madden forgot that that outside linebackers are also just linebackers and not D ends standing up in a 3-4. I've been looking at middle linebackers. There's not a lot of guys that I'm interested right now in taking. I don't know enough about them all. I didn't have any real I didn't have any focus on them because we've been taking so many linebackers. I was a little worried about doing that. So this is something we might come back to later on once we get to the offseason and know where we stand. But for now, I have not really done too much homework on the linebackers. The corner position is something that I wanted to focus on this year. As you can see here, everybody's got 64% completion. I ended up doing our national scout at corner because I feel like we need one. We had McElroy last year, who I think is going to be good for us, but he's normal dev. We have Dantzler, who is also good for us. And we have Hughes, who's also good. But we need somebody else to really take that next step. And I don't know if we're going to get it out of Hughes before he starts hitting that regression wall. And Dantzler is still working on his way up there, but I feel like we're going to need a third guy. So we might be going corner again this year. So there's so many guys here to look over. I don't know if we're going to have time to really dig deep into them right now. Just know that there are quite a few guys here that I'm really interested in taking. Free safety is something that I'm looking at as well, because there's a few of them, not many. And I feel like I haven't taken a safety yet at all this year. There's like nobody available at strong safety at all. So I don't think I'm going to be touching strong safeties. But the free safety, I got a request to look at a player from my GM, and it was another free safety. So I don't know if the game is trying to tell me I need to draft one, but Shamir Binns is the guy they told me to look at. And I already don't like him. I don't know why he's got B block shedding instead of D man coverage. I don't need my free safety to be able to, block shed that well if he can't cover. So I don't know. I'm a little caught off by him. I don't think I'm going to be drafting him. I hope we have at least one safety in this class that's ends up playing well for us. The first guy I have some more completion on is Shaq Seymour here and Joshua Rivers. And Seymour is a guy that I actually really like. He's got really good physical stats, not the greatest, but everything is good to great or great to elite for what matters. And his skills are pretty good, his base skills. B zone coverage, and he has B hit power. The only issue is that injury is a C and his play recognition is a D. So there's just holes, 2 to 3 round guys, you're going to find holes in them. That's just how it goes. I just don't know if those are the holes that I want to deal with. The Joshua Rivers is another guy. He has A hit power. He stands at 6'4". He doesn't have the greatest of attributes. You can see his acceleration is decent to solid. Not even solid to good, which is a little concerning. But he has A's in a lot of places. Hit power, block shedding, and play recognition, along with A injury. So it could be a guy that we grow behind Xavier Woods, or to replace Harrison Smith as he gets older. There were 2 guys that I was looking at here in the UDFAs, and the only reason I'm looking at them is because of their size at strong safety. They're both 220 plus pounds. That's Kevin Otting and Sheldon Hitchens. I've always liked the idea of having like a hybrid type of linebacker / safety that I can use and even potentially move to linebacker. So I was checking these guys out, and I don't know, you guys tell me what you guys think. So he's 21. Obviously, we wouldn't be taking him till way later. It would be more of a luxury pick just to see if we get anything cool out of one of these guys. His speed and accelerations is good. Strength is decent. I don't know how it stacks up against linebackers, but his skills are actually pretty decent. He doesn't have great block shedding, but he's got B pursuit, C awareness. I wish we saw more of his statistics, but just because of his size alone, I'm interested in trying to draft him because 220, 225, that's a big safety. Sheldon Hitchens obviously sucks at zone coverage for a safety, and he's 23. And you can see here his poor marginal. Again, I don't know how that would stack up against linebackers because if he's secondary, they might think he's better. So it could be maybe he's better than what it looks like. I don't know. But this, of course, would just be like a random pick at the end of the draft of people we could just take a flyer on to see if we find a diamond in the rough. Or a guy that's basically playing out of position. The draft, I feel, is going to be something we have to really look into more later on once we have a better idea of where the team stands at the end of the season, who we want to build around, who we can get in the offseason for, like, through free agency. One thing that I thought I mentioned in the last video, but I think I edited it out because it just wasn't really necessary and I just randomly mentioned it. But speaking of the offseason, I do want to mention this. It's going to sound weird because I've mentioned this like 2 or 3 times and I've gone back and forth on it in the past. I think I'm going to take my profile off of all the teams. And I want to explain why. So over the course of this season, which was really the first season that I really stuck to a week-to-week progression, like watching the games, recording videos, doing things like that, I've noticed that I haven't really done anything for these CPU teams. Granted, I have gone on and I have maybe adjusted, you know, the depth chart of the wide receivers, or, you know, I did make some nice trades for teams to fill holes, like for the Bucks, for instance, with Tua. But everything else is sort of getting put on the back burner. I'm not watching these games. So I don't know what guys are performing. I don't know which guys deserve contracts. I don't think these teams, any of them, are getting breakout scenarios done properly because I'm not on them. I don't know if that gets done behind the scenes or not. I have no clue if a CPU team can. Probably not. But I feel like because I'm on the team, that the team is actually doing less. Like, they're not making trades on their own. They're not putting people on the trade block. They're not cutting players and signing players. They're not doing any of the things that I feel is important for a team to do. So, and I feel like the free agency is going to be nothing this year because I've been re-signing most of the key guys that I see. I'm like, well, yeah, they're going to re-sign them. Yeah, they're going to re-sign them. But I'm not really looking to see what they've been doing that year. You know, like, what if that receiver I signed for, I don't know, the Bucks, since they're in front of my face here. What if he wasn't performing very well and the team decided not to offer him a contract? You know, now, will the Bucks actually do that in Madden? No. But they could have lowballed him, and then which would have turned into him denying the contract and going to free agency. But because I have no clue what the situation is, they're just doing what they do, you know? So I'm really not sure what I should do. But I feel like this offseason, I might end up having to take my profile off. I don't know. It's something that I've been toying with the last couple of weeks, and I haven't really brought it up, but I just don't want to be the reason that my team is getting really good and all the other teams are being complacent. Now that I'm done rambling, which seems like forever, it's time to play this game. First, before we get into the game, though, let's go ahead and let's take a quick peek at the Bucks roster and see what they've been doing all season. Of course, we know that Tua has been the quarterback for them, and he's had an up and down year. You can see here 19 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, which seems like really good numbers. But a lot of those interceptions have come in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I took a look at their games to see how they've 3-7, and it turns out they went on a 4-game skid. And in every one of them, Tagovailoa had multiple interceptions, or he just had really rough days. Ronald Jones has been running the ball like crazy, 10 touchdowns, but he has not shown up in his average. You can see here he's only averaging 3.5 yards a carry, which, hey, you know, every time you touch the ball, that is still a first down if you run it 3 times in a row. But still, you want to have a guy who's averaging 4 to 5 usually. Their receiver core is pretty good. Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, who was a former Cardinal, he came over, I think it was this past offseason. Okay, so he came over 2 seasons ago, as you can see. But he's having himself a pretty good game, pretty good season. 705 yards, 6 touchdowns, 51 catches. Tyler Johnson, the former Minnesota Gopher, he is the third receiver right now. They drafted Deontay Richard this year and Antoine Ross, another Minnesota guy. O.J. Howard is probably the worst tight end we've played all year, and I'm still concerned about him because he's a physical freak. Every tight end we've seen that we've watched, it seems like they've been a 90 overall. So O.J. Howard, though, of course, you can't sleep on him. He is 87 speed, 91 excel for a reason. He is a solid receiving threat. The big story here is Tristan Wirfs. Wirfs, I think I said that right. He's out for this week still. I don't know when he got hurt, but he has got a dislocated hip, so he will not be able to play, which means that either Hitchens, I should really make sure that one of these other guys, this is, like I was saying, this is one of the reasons that I have my stuff on the team, because I guarantee you one of these 59s or 60s is going to end up starting in front of them when they have a guy like Rob Klein sitting here on the bench. So I'll probably make sure that Rob Klein is starting just so that they have some type of a decent right tackle for the game. But regardless of who starts, we might be able to get a good chance with some pressure, especially with Danielle Hunter and Martin Jefferson coming on the scene lately. Their defensive line is not that great right now. Dean Lowry has really been a guy that's never turned into a stud starter, more of a really good rotational player, low-end starter. They drafted Grayson Bishop last season, who's playing right end. They, of course, have Vita Vea, who will be an absolute beast up the middle of the field. Shaquille Barrett and Devin White still here at linebacker. That's going to be a tough combo. Joe Tryon Shoyenka, I hope I said that right, is the other linebacker. Pretty good corners too. Sean Murphy Bunting and Jamel Dean, both 84 overall. Plus they have James. They drafted a 77 overall. Are you kidding me? And he's 6'3". Where was I? What did I do? Why did I draft him? Oh, I wasn't even on the board yet, was I? What was it? I thought, oh, okay. Yeah, because we took Taylor Hopkins. Well, good for them. They have themselves an awesome corner, 6'3" corner. 95, are you kidding me? A 95? Oh my gosh. I dropped the ball there, didn't I, guys? 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 96 COD on a rookie corner who stands at 6'3", 208 pounds. Oh my gosh, that guy is a physical freak. Antoine Winfield Jr., another all these guys from Minnesota on this team. Winfield's been a guy I really liked because obviously, being a Vikings fan, his dad played for the team many moons ago. I can't believe I just said many moons ago. Golly, I feel like I'm old. Anyway, Antoine Winfield Jr., great safety. His dad was a great corner. I loved watching him play. I was always hoping that the Vikings would have drafted him instead of Jeff Gladney a couple years ago, but, it's always easy to judge in hindsight. And then they have Carrie Willis. So nothing too drastic for the Bucks. They do have some really solid guys in certain areas, but you can see that it's very up and down depending on where you go. I guess I can sort of see how they do have issues winning games, because while their overall says they're an 85, you can see based off of their team as a whole that they don't have exceptional players at all positions, and there are major spots where they could definitely use an upgrade. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do the weekly strategy. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that one of those better linemen are filling in for the right tackle with the Bucks, and I'll see you guys at the game. We are here in Tampa for our Week 12 matchup with the Buccaneers. Tua Tagovailoa going up against Taylor Hopkins. Both of these teams have been up and down all season. We're sitting at 5-5, fighting our way back into the NFC North. The Buccaneers sitting at 3-7, trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong. The team itself is very superior to us, 85 overall across the board. But Bruce Arians and company still trying to figure out what went wrong. Hopefully today we can continue that streak for them and give them their 5th loss in a row. Obviously they're going to be looking to get back on the right track today, and we are on the road, which could end up being an issue. And we are going to start things off on defense today as we kick it away to open up this game. They're going to take it at the 1, and he's going to take it up the sideline. Has a little crease, but brought down at the 21 by Chaz Surratt. And here he comes, Tua himself. The former Dolphin turned Buck, getting a second chance at starting here in the NFL. 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3 yards shy of 23 yards passing. Pretty darn good-looking up and down season, if I do say so myself. They're going to come out here, open things up in a single back formation. Ronald Jones in the backfield. 2 wide receivers, back to pass. Tua looking, rolling around, pressure trying to get to him. He finally just throws it away out of bounds. Nice way for our defense to get a quick little play in there. 2nd and 10 now. They're going to hand it off to Ronald Jones, who has a clear lane off the right side, up across the 30 to the 34. A big gain of 13 yards. That's the one thing we can't let happen, is get the run game going. It seems to be one of our issues this year. Our run game on defense has not been very good. It's been very inconsistent. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come, as Ronald Jones broke free for a big chunk there. After the big run, the Bucs start out here at 1st down again, out to 34 now, and they're going to go right back to Jones, who has another lane, stiff arms Harrison Smith, and is out to the 42, and Dantzler is hurt on the field. Oh, man, that is not good. That is not good at all. And he's going to the locker room. Oh, my gosh, man. These injuries, I'm telling you guys, they are something fierce this year in this Madden game. Okay, 2nd and 1 now. McElroy's going to have to step up. Tua back to pass, and they'll go over to that side to Ronald Jones, but he overthrows him on the swing route. 3rd and 1. Can we get off the field here? Single back formation. They're going to hand it off to him again, and we give up the lane for the 1st down off the left side. Another nice run for Jones as he gets out to the 48-yard line. McElroy there to play cleanup, but the damage was already done. Our defense is not looking good right now. It looks as if the run game is going to be rather simple to get against us, which is not something I expected. Fresh set of downs, almost to midfield. Another single back set. They're going to go back to him again. He's been working, and they do. This time, no, he still manages to break free from Harrison Smith. Luckily, Eric Kendricks there to bring him down after 3. And bring up 2nd and 7 now from the 49 into Minnesota territory. Back to pass it. Under pressure, gets rid of it to the left side. Caught by Christian Kirk up to the 43, gain of 6 yards. And now another 3rd and 1. We have one more chance here to get off the field before they get into field goal range, and he's back to pass it. Tua looking. Pressure breaking down, and there goes the sack from Danielle Hunter. He took too long to get rid of it. Something that we're familiar with seeing from Hopkins, and he's ended up taking the sack and pushing them out of any type of hope for a field goal. And here we come out now. Taylor Hopkins, 17 and 8. He himself almost to 3,000 yards passing, and we're going to have to start off working uphill. That punt put us down at the 1-yard line, and we have had plenty of issues this season when it comes to being backed up here. Handoff to Madison, and Madison finds a little crease off the right side, and he'll get out to the 3-yard line. Says it's a gain of 3. And now the big man, Antonio Nelson, checking into the game in the I formation. 2nd and 7. Do we go to the big man? Yes, we do. And trying to get away from Vita Vea, and he can't, and now Bradbury is hurt.
I know you feel that.
2 starters on the first 2 series. Don't go to the locker room, man. Come on. Oh, my gosh. What is happening? Okay, now Mason Cole's going to have to come in for him. 3rd and 6 now. Another handoff to Madison, and the line breaks down immediately right where Garrett Bradbury would have been staying. Mason Cole can't hold on to the protection from Vita Vea, and we're going to go on our own 3 and out. Now, because of our failed drive, the Bucs are going to start out pretty much where they left off at midfield. 1st and 10, Tua back to pass it. Under pressure, and he's going to go down this time from Martin Jefferson. Another key play from our defensive line. Martin Jefferson this time getting in on the fun. And this might be what we were talking about with Tua having that up and down year. He's had some good stats, but maybe these sacks is where they're really getting killed. We have also had these kind of issues in-house with Taylor Hopkins. 2nd and 17 now. Deep drop back, firing it over the middle, and he's got O.J. Howard across midfield down to the 45. Big pickup of 10 yards, 12 yards even. And now it brings up a 3rd and 5, much more manageable than what it could have been. Back to pass again, gets rid of it quickly to O.J. Howard again, open over the middle, working against Anthony Barr, and he's going to have himself another first down. Down to the 33, now they are working in field goal range. 1st and 10. The Bucs are driving. Stack formation to the left side, Tua back to pass. He's looking. Finally lets it go, and it's almost intercepted. Eric Kendricks unable to hold on to it. That would have been a huge momentum shift for us. But unfortunately, he cannot hang on. And now Tua back to pass again on 2nd down. Under pressure again, and he's going to go down for a 3rd time. 2nd sack for Danielle Hunter. Now Hunter is in the zone, 3rd and 20. Can we get him another sack? Come on, Hunter. Get us off this field. Tua back to pass. He's not going to get it. No, he might. Gets rid of it just in time to Ronald Jones. And Jones is unable to make much of anything happen, but they still may get a field goal out of this one. Nice tackle by McElroy, gain of 5, but they definitely needed a lot more than that. Hunter applying the pressure that forced the early pass from Tua will end up leading to this field goal attempt. And here we go, a long one at that, 55, almost 56 yards. Are they going to be able to make this? It's up. It looks like it has the distance, and it is good. And out we come now after our 3 and out. Giving up 3. Luckily, our defense really pinned their ears back and got us just the 3. Hand off to Madison, who's got a crease off the right side out to the 23-yard line. A nice pickup there of 7 yards. We need to get Madison going. We need him to help Hopkins find better passing lanes. 2nd and 3. We're going to pass it now. First time today, I think. And he's going to go over the middle to Justin Jefferson, who makes the catch out across the 30 to the 35. A pickup of 12 yards. There we go. Nice rhythm to get started into. Can Hopkins keep this up? Come on. Let's go. Shotgun formation. Back to pass it again. Pressure coming. He gets rid of it to Osborne, who makes the catch at the 43 in traffic. And another pickup, this time of 7 yards. We're going to come out here in the pistol formation. Madison lined up behind Hopkins. Handoff. Up the middle he goes, and he's met immediately by Vita Vea again. And that's going to make it 3rd and 2. We end up getting a yard, it seems, somehow. Not sure how. That's going to be a tough sledding all game for us. Vita Vea is primed to just take advantage of Mason Cole over and over again. Handoff to Madison, and this time it is the safety coming through to make the stop. Yeah, Willis, the strong safety. Wow, a safety blitz comes right through the B gap there. Brian O'Neill just decided not to block him. Yeah, look, he just runs right past him. Doesn't even block him. That would have been a first down. Our defense already today has got 3 sacks. They have been getting to Tua very, very fast and very easy. But still our offense struggling to do anything. And I'm worried that if this continues, our defense is going to start waning like we've seen the last few games we've watched. Hunter still in the zone, and he makes a big play in the backfield on Ronald Jones, bringing him down for a loss of 3. Finally get ourselves a stop in the run game. Seems like they were about to run wild on us if we didn't start making some plays, and luckily for us, Danielle Hunter does just that. A delayed handoff to Jones, who's met by Kendricks. Nothing available there. He'll lose another yard. 3rd and 14 now. We need to get off the field. We can't give up a big chunk play. Can we get the pressure we need? He gets rid of it quickly to a wide open O.J. Howard. I don't know if he got the first, though. Oh, of course they give it to him. Forward progress. I should have known. I just saw the way that animation went, and sometimes they'll let you get away with that one. Sometimes they won't. They won't give him that first when they get hit like that in that animation. But unfortunately for us, he definitely gets the first down. Hand off to the left side, cuts it back up the middle and meets Eric Kendricks immediately, and McElroy there to clean up after the fact. Gain of 2 on the play. Starting to really hone in on the running game. We got to keep that up. 2nd and 8. Tua to pass. Lets it go over the middle. Wide open. O.J. Howard beating Anthony Barr Started calling him every name in the book. OJ and Anthony became the same name there. I was so upset. Anthony Barr just stood there, didn't even do anything. Wow. Look at this. Barr is just standing next to him. He doesn't even react to the pass. And I just got done saying O.J. Howard's probably the worst tight end we've had to play, but he was still a physical freak. And now he's probably going to get off for 150 yards on us because I said that. Tua back to pass on 1st and 10. Michael Pierce coming up the middle. He still gets rid of it to a wide open Christian Kirk down to the 22-yard line. We are getting our butts whooped already, even if the score is not showing it. 1st and 10. Tua to pass it. Pump fakes. And he's going to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Looking for Mike Evans. McElroy on the coverage, but the sideline played a bigger help in that coverage for us. 2nd and 10 now. From the 22, Tua to pass. Blitz incoming. We don't get through, and he finds an open Tyler Johnson on the crossing route for the touchdown. And the Buccaneers starting to pull away already as they'll take a 9-0 lead with the extra point upcoming. Here we go, 3rd attempt here at a drive. We have not had any success so far. Handoff to Madison, who gets up the middle, gain of about 4 yards, but is met right away by the defense. The crowd is starting to get going here, and we just got ourselves a false start, didn't we? Yep. Oh, man. This is going downhill rather quickly, guys. Second and 11. Just shooting ourselves in the foot here. Hopkins to pass it, lets it go quickly to Irv Smith, who makes the catch, and he's out to the 24-yard line, and it'll make it 3rd and 5 for us. The crowd is roaring right now. Hopkins to pass it, blitz incoming, he gets rid of it just in time, deep down the left side, and it's intercepted by Winfield. Antoine Winfield Jr. covering over the top, coming over, making the big play as we were trying to find Justin Jefferson, who was matched up against, I think it was Bunting? No, it was the rookie Ferguson, and it was Osborne. And Winfield just making the big catch there, and now we are looking at a potential blowout if we cannot get ourselves situated. My gosh, this game is turning into a nightmare for us. 2 injuries, no run game. Handoff to Ronald Jones, who gets caught up at the line and is brought down at the 47. And now we're throwing interceptions. Just a really bad start to this game for us. My gosh. Tua back to pass, lets it go quickly. Got a man, it's Christian Kirk. Kirk out to the down to the 41. Tua 9 of 13, 124 yards and a touchdown already. And he's getting rid of the ball precisely and on time, and he's finding the guys open in the seams or in the zones. 3rd and 2. Handoff to Jones. Jones has a clear lane up the middle, and it's a big hit by Xavier Woods, who forces the fumble, and we get the ball back on the fumble recovery. What a smack by Xavier Woods. He really hit him hard. Harrison Smith there to recover the fumble for us, and we get ourselves a big break. Taylor Hopkins, the only incompletion was that interception we just saw him throw. But we have not been able to do anything against this defense. This is the drive to do it. Our defense bailed us out. 1st and 10. Gets rid of it to the sideline to Derek Barnes. Basically a throwaway. Gain of 1. 2nd and 9 now. Under center, offset I formation. Hand off to Madison. Madison trying to get through the lane, but again, it's Vita Vea making the play. And we barely get anything. 3rd and 6 now. Empty set. Irv Smith lined up in the slot right. Back to pass. We pick up the blitz nicely, and it's caught by Irv Smith for the 1st down. Nice play there. Quick throw. Irv Smith making the tough catch. And now it's 1st down. We're out near midfield at the 45. Hopkins steps up in the pocket, throws it, and misses a wide open Osborne again. That is the 2nd game in a row we've watched where he misses him. There was nobody there. Back to pass on 2nd now. And and he just throws it away. Oh, did we make a mistake? 3rd and 10. Hopkins to throw it, and he's going to take a sack now. Here we go again. Another attempt at offensive possession. We haven't been able to get anything going here. 1st and 10. Antonio Nelson in the backfield at running back. Offset I formation, Waldron in motion. And it's a handoff to Nelson. Nelson breaking one tackle, trying to get through the first line of defense, and they say he fumbles, but I'm pretty sure he was down. And now Derek Barnes is hurt. What is happening on this team right now? Double A gap look. They're going to fall back into coverage. Tua looking, almost gets sacked, and it's picked off. And it is Artie Burns making the play. No, yes, Artie Burns. The guy I was just talking about not re-signing makes the play for us. He also made the play last drive, covering Mike Evans one-on-one. Our defense has bailed us out multiple times this game. The fact they only have 10 points with how pitiful we've played is a miracle in itself. Can we do something with it? Yes, we can. A big pass to Irv Smith Jr. out across the 40 to the 41. We need this offense to step up. 1st and 10. 3 minutes to go. We still have plenty of time to get on the board yet. Hand off to Glover. Glover met immediately, though, and he'll get a gain of 2. We need to almost abandon the run at this point. We haven't been able to find a lick of a lane anywhere. 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Hopkins looking. He gets rid of it to the right side, and again he misses another open receiver. He can't hit those out routes to save his life. 3rd and 8. And he throws it to Glover, who just gives himself out. Okay, somehow we got the first. Not sure how. I don't know if Madden is trying to gift us with some freebies, but it looked like he gave himself up before the first. I wonder if that gets challenged. All right, so we have a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 across midfield. I think this is the first time we've been in their territory all game. Hopkins to throw it. Under pressure, gets rid of it, and it looks like, yes, he just throws it away out of bounds. 1:55 left. Pressure's starting to get to us a little bit quicker here. We got to start getting this ball out here, Hopkins. We can't keep holding on to it. 2nd and 10. Hopkins to throw it again. Lets it go quickly this time to Irv Smith, who makes another catch down to the 41, working against Levine Sr. 3rd and 3. Hopkins throwing it again, and this time he's got KJ Osborne down to the 32. We got all 3 timeouts yet.
Here we go.
No need to play hurry up at this point. We have plenty of time. We're at the 32. We can get in the end zone here. Come on, guys. Come on, Hopkins. He's going deep to the end zone, and he's going to miss Irv Smith. He had him one-on-one against Willis, but just overthrows him. 2nd and 10. And he lets it go to Derek Barnes, who finds himself back in the game, trying to power his way to the first down, but it's not going to happen. And now, what is that? Is that a timeout? Yes, timeout. We take our first. 3rd and 1. Back to pass. Hopkins, you got to throw it right away, man. Don't do this. Please, man. Oh, golly, this guy is going to drive me insane. And we're going to go for it. I bet we're going to run it right at Vita Vea, and he's going to stuff us in the backfield. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Alexander Madison finding some strength there on 4th down to get us the first. 1st and 10. We have 42 seconds left and 1 timeout. We're at the 16. Hopkins to pass it. He's looking, and he's going to take another sack again. Christian Darrisaw can't protect us from their 77 overall linebacker. Part of that was Hopkins' fault. He just stood back there, but just unfortunate to see. 2nd and 21, back to pass it. Hopkins, you got to throw the ball, man. You got to stop. Oh, my God. You hold on to it for 30 years to throw it down for -1 yards? And we're going to take a field goal already. We wasted more time standing in the pocket holding the ball than we did actually running plays. Luckily, we could start the second half with the ball. We finally made some progress, able to get a field goal to close out the half. Can we do anything with that, or are we going to just continue to fail on offense? Hopkins has got to find something in him to get rid of this ball and find the open guys. He's going to hand it off to Glover first. Glover finds a nice lane up to the 30-yard line. Gain of 5. And now Madison checks in. Single back set. We have a 3 tight end set on the field right now. Jefferson split left all alone. Back to pass it. Hopkins is going to throw it to Barnes, who turns it upfield, tries to lay the boom on Shaquille Barrett, but still falling forward, gets us the first down. Sort of shot a little early there. I don't know if you guys saw that. They do that a lot this year. Sort of funny to see. 1st and 10. Jefferson in motion. Back to pass it. Hopkins getting rid of it down the sideline, and more so just a throwaway. 12 of 21. Almost down to 50% at this point between these throwaways and these horrible missed passes. Looking over the middle, and he's got Justin Jefferson this time, and he'll get us a first down to the 48. Devin White there to play cleanup. Only the 2nd target for Justin Jefferson. That's also one of our biggest problems on offense. 1st and 10. Hand off to Madison, who's got a nice lane there down to the 40-yard line, maybe 41. Yes, another first down. Best run of the day for us. I mean, you can count that 4th down run, but as far as how many yards we picked up, that was the best one so far. Another first down here. Single back formation, 3 tight ends again, all split to the right side. We're going to throw it anyway to Irv Smith, who makes the catch and is down to the 38-yard line, gain of 3. We run so much single back out of this playbook. 2nd and 7. Handoff, and Madison falling forward to the 34. Nice pickup of about 4 yards. 3rd and 3. We're in shotgun. We haven't even gotten a pass to Adam Thielen today. I just realized that. And we get another one to Irv Smith, though, for the first down. Adam Thielen has been a non-factor in this game. 6 catches for 50 yards for Smith, who's been sort of Hopkins' go-to on almost any play or drive that we need a catch made here for tough yards. Single back set again. Madison going to take the handoff off the right side. Looks like a power play, and he'll get about 4 yards off of it. I like that. Starting to find some rhythm here on the ground in the second half. Tyler Conklin in motion. Another handoff to Madison, and somehow our 98 overall guard does not know how to, block anything. I don't mind that players can make plays, but just to have them make such dumb plays like that just boggles my mind. 3rd and 4. Hopkins to pass. And he's going deep to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Finally looking for Thielen. He was only triple covered in the end zone, so I can see why we went to him instead of taking something else. And we're going to have to rely on the new kicker here for another field goal. This one from 39 yards. It's up, almost blocked. And it is good. I'm impressed. Uh-oh. A 4th one, yes. There it is. Danielle Hunter completely taking over the defensive game for us today. 4 of the 5 sacks coming from him. And he's in the zone once again. Remember, guys, that's where that the right tackle Wirfs was hurt. Oh, and he's coming for a 5th. Yes, he does. Can we break the sack record this game? What is it, 7? 7 sacks in a game? 6? I don't know, but he's closing in on it. We still got plenty of time in this game. Danielle Hunter with sack number 5 on 3rd down. 3rd and 32. Sorry, 2nd down it was. So it's 3rd and 32 now. He's in the zone. Tua to pass. He's under pressure again. A 3rd sack in a row from Danielle Hunter. And he has got 6 on the day. 4th and 43. Hunter is sick of us losing these games. He is single-handedly willing this team to make something happen. We just need the offense to respond. It's a handoff to Madison, who cuts it up the middle. and he is met by Willis and Devin White after a gain of 4. Second down. We barely have 100. We don't even have 150 yards this game. Are you kidding me? Wow. All right, 2nd and 6. It's another handoff to Madison, who finds a wide open lane off the left side, breaking tackles down to the 34. 15 carries, 70 yards. And now we are in field goal range, but I don't want a field goal. I want a touchdown. We have settled for field goals on the only other 2 times we have gotten in this kind of territory. It is time that we get us our own touchdown and take this lead back. Come on, guys. Empty set. Barnes and Smith both split slot to the right side, and oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Every time we get something going, we have something just shoot us in the foot. Come on, offensive line. 1st and 15. Now we're back at the 39. And we're going to hand it off to Glover, who gets met immediately at the line. Great. Now we're setting ourselves up for 3rd and long immediately. 2nd and 14. Let's see us dump it down for a gain of 1 on this one. 3 receivers split left. Hopkins back to pass it. Got to throw the ball. He finally does. Gets rid of it to Glover, who's got a big lane out to the 25. Close to a first down, met by Levine, but it's 3rd and 1. I feel like we should go for it here even if we don't get this. 3rd and 1, it's a handoff. Madison cuts it back to the left side of the line and gets the first down to the 22. 1 more quarter to go. 1st and 10, Antonio Nelson checked in the offset I formation. And it's a handoff to him, and he is met immediately as Christian Darisaw decided to not only just pick one of the defenders, he just decided not to block either one of them. So that's helpful. Thank you, Darisaw. That's what we want out of our franchise left tackle. 2nd and 11 after the horrible run attempt. Hopkins to throw it. And he lets it go, and he's got Jefferson, and Jefferson down to the 2. No, they say it's a touchdown. Oh, that's going to get challenged. He didn't cross the line, did he? I don't think he did. Yeah, they'll take it away. We get at the 1, but hey, that's still a huge play. Come on, offense. Let's get in this end zone. Alexander Madison, here's your chance, bud. Let's get a touchdown. Handoff, Madison, and he's in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It took us 4 quarters, but we finally get a touchdown and get ourselves the lead for the first time today. We got to keep this momentum going here. Pump fake quick. Hopkins looking. He's going to the left side again, and it's intercepted. Sean Murphy bunting, and he's taking it all the way. 10-5 touchdown, and just like that, all hopes of us making a statement in this game are over. He threw the ball way too early. I don't know what kind of route that was. I don't know what kind of placement that was, or what kind of animation it was. But what I do know is even if that animation doesn't happen, that is not a ball you throw. He's covered. Of course, we're going to throw it. Looking. Oh, my God. You've got to be kidding me. What is happening? I don't even know where to go from here, guys. We're back to throw it again. Hopkins just whips it, and he finds Conklin. I think that's his first catch of the season open. Hopkins throwing it again. And just standing in the pocket for how long? Oh, well, thank God we did that. Gain of 2. They're 24th in takeaways, and we let them get 3 today. That's awesome. I'm glad to know that. 2nd and 8. Hopkins is going to take no, he just throws it away. And now Darisaw is hurt. Everybody's getting hurt today. This is a nightmare game, guys. Jerron Christian steps in at left tackle for us. 3rd and 8. Blitz is coming, and we're going to, oh my God. Buccaneers looking to score again after another turnover. Looking to the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Mike Evans. Wow. That's all I can really say, guys. That game was, like, I know I've said that was a tough game before, but that took the cake. That was the worst game I've seen us play in this franchise. That was absolutely horrible to watch. I know the Bucs were a very good, talented team, and I had a feeling that was going to happen, where they were going to just let us be overpowered by them just because of their overall. But we are in a rough spot. Like that was eye-opening to me. I have to go back to the drawing board, guys. Something's not working. I mean, I still firmly believe that something is going on with Hopkins and how he plays because of how Madden works, their schemes and their archetypes. I've seen it happening quite a bit in the RFL with quarterbacks who are stuck in this strong arm situation. But the missing of their open receivers, the horrible decisions on throwing the ball, our offensive line not being able to block, even though we invested heavily into it, I think. It's not looking good for us for the rest of the year. We really need some help at this point from the other teams to try and stay in the race. And even if we do stay in the race, are we worthy of staying in the race, you know? So we'll see. I'm not sure which game we're going to watch next, or if maybe we just get to the off season. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on the next couple weeks. I think I am going to sim at least 2 games, and I'll use those games to sort of, you know, try and identify. Maybe we need to switch playbooks again. I don't know. Maybe this book just for some reason isn't working for us anymore. We don't end up with any injuries from that game, even though we lost 3 of our starters throughout the course of the game. And I guess we just got to find the bright spots, you know. We had Daniil Hunter had a career day almost, 6 sacks. We saw some promising play from Artie Burns, who has been somebody that I've been, you know, toying around with re-signing. We saw some burst in the running game, which was nice to see. We saw some plays to Justin Jefferson, even if it was in garbage time. But there's 2 major holes on this team right now. One of them is how our quarterback is playing, and the other one is our left tackle, because he gave up a lot this game between pass protection and even run blocking. Let's just sim this week here and see if we get any help from the teams playing the Bears or the Packers. Okay, so we do get some help. The Packers end up losing their game. The Bears won, however, so they are at this point 4 games ahead of us, 3 games record-wise and 1 game tiebreaker-wise. We play them again here in Week 16, as you can see. We're going to go ahead and end the video here. We have the Raiders this week, but again, I don't think we're going to watch this one. I think I'm going to sim. I'm going to watch a few of these games and then sim, and I just want to test a playbook or 2. And we'll probably do the same with the Chiefs. We'll see, depending on this week. Who knows? Maybe next video we just do the Week 16 game with the Bears. It depends on our schedule. If I'm not saying that I don't want you guys to watch the games, and I'm sure maybe some of you guys want to watch them all, but like if we're completely out of playoff contention, you know, and there's no point in us even playing these games for any kind of meaningful thing aside from maybe some extra XP, you know, to me, I'd rather get to the offseason and try to fix this thing, try to right the ship. We'll see how things go from here. We might be in Week 16 when you see me next. We might even be in the offseason. I don't know. But this is where today's video ends. It ends on another somber note. It seems like more and more of these videos come out, the worse and worse this team is doing. So we need to find a way to turn it around and get us a fresh start and hopefully find something that works for us. So I appreciate you guys watching as always. Again, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, please consider subscribing and also give me a like, leave me a comment. Obviously, it helps the channel, and of course, I wouldn't be doing YouTube if I wasn't trying to, you know, grow this thing. And I'll see you guys next time.